Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you had a good Christmas. Didn't feel very Christmassy this year. I don't think the spirit's with anybody. Some people tried, I guess, but it's just been a weird, dark, foreboding kind of a year. Well, the last several years, kind of. But I hope you and yours had a good one, a decent one. We're coming up on a whole new year. 2024 is upon us. And, you know, I'm going to try to make it a good one. I don't think it's going to be a little wild with all the shit going on. However, let's stay positive and move forward into a new year together and focus on positive mojo, positive energy, man. There's no sense on being saturated in negativity. Um, on that note, today's Chris's birthday. Chris is a guy that I met when I started this whole gun thing 3 years ago. Back in like late 19, maybe early 2020, I forget exactly when. When I bought that Smith & Wesson 5-inch M&P pistol. And then, of course, the Anderson that I purchased on Cordova and got shafted by the small print and ended up paying about 3 times as what they go for these days. And then the cringe DJ episodes and the creating my own group and getting attacked by every snob from here to Timbuktu. And the adventure began for Jake America, man. And very early on, I was getting pummeled by every snob known to man in every group that mattered. Uh, and I remember one day I got a message from Chris. I didn't know who he was. He just reached out. He had commented on a few things I had posted. He reached out and says, "Hey, I want you to know that not all snobs are complete assholes. You know, everyone starts from ground zero kind of thing, you know." And he sent me that LaRue trigger as a gift just to help me start my first build 1.0. So we got to rebuild that again. It's still sitting in pieces. And I was blown away. It was very kind of him, you know. And then over time, we would communicate here and there, and we start talking on the phone and stuff. And you know, we just developed this instant type of chemistry rapport between two dudes, you know. And he helped me and corrected and busted my balls left and right. And eventually he came up and we did a little deal for some parts and stuff. He was hanging out right here, and that's when he showed me his staccato, and I checked that out. And just everything was moving along. And then all of a sudden, I get a message from somebody else I know going, "Hey, aren't you friends with that Chris guy? They're saying he passed away in an accident." Like, you know, it was just kind of hit me in the balls. I was like, "Nah, come on." Turned out it was true. He was on his bike. I remember talking to him about that because, you know, bikes can be dangerous. And he had told me that he was into bikes big time years ago, and then he had a really bad accident. And he was in the hospital. His bike got totaled, and then once he recouped from all that, he decided not to ride anymore. And some years went by, and then I remember he sent me a picture of his new bike. All of a sudden, I was like, "Yeah, I sold some of my rifles. I had to scratch the itch again." And, you know, and that was his joy. You know, his joy was his beautiful wife, and he loved guns. He loved art. He was very artistic and creative, and he loved his motorcycles, man. And he was, from what I understand, a good rider, responsible, always wore all his gear. He wasn't one of these go for a ride in flip-flops and a tank top kind of dudes doing wheelies down 95 at 180. At least I don't think he was. And from what I understand, the day that he got into his accident, I just saw the picture his brother posted of he went back to visit the site. It's this nice, quiet-looking road with fences, with, you know, lots of trees and yards. Looks like one of those side roads you would take, you know, in between towns. And it wasn't like I-95 or some 8-lane monstrosity. It looked like a lane you would just cruise on by and not even think a thing of it. Apparently, some lady, some chick, pulled into a street and I guess backed up instantly instead of making a U-turn because she wanted to go the other way or something. And apparently Chris was booking along and he didn't have time to stop, and boom, his life was taken. Fucking sad, man. My heart goes out to his wife and his brother and his mom and dad and all his really close friends he's known forever. But that hit me hard. I was in tears over it, as I couldn't believe it, because we developed this weird, out of nowhere kind of friendship. You become friends with people, even if it's on the internet. You end up talking, and then you meet, and then you realize you have things in common. The whole brother from another mother vibe. Chemistry, and he always trying to help me out, and you know, I just it was one of those weird kind of things, man. He was young and vibrant, and his whole life ahead of him. Starting a new company, I think. He was just he was running on all cylinders. Everything was looking great. Him and his wife were very happy. They were moving forward with life, and it's just very tragic when somebody goes that way, that suddenly. Today's his birthday, so happy birthday, Chris. Now, that mag that I found, he had sent me another mag too. I have it. But this one, he just sent it randomly. Like one day I get a package, it's in a little thing, and I open it up, and it's a mag with Ozzy and Bear, because he was artistic, right? I was like, dude, what? He was like, I just want to do something for you. He had such a kind heart and a good soul. And that was meaningful as hell to me. And I loaded it up, and I put it in a drawer or in the safe or something, and moved around a few times. I never shot it. I always kept it more like an art piece on my bench, because it really touched my heart. And then Bear died suddenly in April from his heart attack from a snake bite. And I must have looked dozens of times. When he died, I looked for that mag. I couldn't find it. Since he died, which is October of last year, I must have looked in every drawer, moved everything around in that garage at least 3 times. I looked through every square inch, like that I put it drunkenly in a drawer in the bedroom. I don't know. I could not find this thing. And I was heartbroken over it because it was, meaningful. And tonight I'm loading up my range bag because I want to go do some shooting this weekend. And I forgot to put the sling in the main area of the case. So I was like, let me open up the side pocket and throw the sling in there. And then I looked down and said, what the hell's that? I reach in and there's the mag. I found the mag that I thought was gone. I thought I left it at the range or something. I didn't know. On his birthday, no less. So I think Chris stopped by to say what's up in his own way. What's up, brother? Happy birthday. I miss you, dude. His family and his brother and his wife. It's tough. It's tough, especially when they're young and vibrant. If somebody has a sickness, the cancer that eats you away, and you watch them degrade over time to the point where they're in horrible pain. When they pass, it's heartbreaking, but you're almost grateful that their misery is gone. This isn't one of those cases. It's kind of like what happened to Bear. Out of the blue, in the prime of your life, you never know what's coming down the pike for you. Live every day as if it's your last, because you really don't know. Nobody does. And Chris lived his life, his way, his hair on fire, at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he was true to himself. And it was an honor and a pleasure to know him, as brief as it was. And I smile when I think of him. He was a funny dude. He used to bust my balls to no end. He was awesome. He still is awesome. He's up there somewhere. He's riding bikes and shooting at the range up in the big sky somewhere, getting down with it. So I just thought I'd want to quick toast to my buddy Chris, wherever he is, his family and his wife. Probably a really tough day. It always will be. We just passed Christmas. I'm sure that was hard for them. Now his birthday. Happy New Year's coming around the corner, and it's just a reminder that the ones we've lost along the way just aren't with us anymore. And it takes a piece of your soul when they go. But he lived a good life, and I plan to live mine in his honor, big time. Get out there and do stuff and take some chances, and seize the day, carpe diem. I believe that's how he lived his life. Balls to the wall, man, at 1,000 miles an hour, 1,000,000 miles an hour, with his hair on fire. I ain't got no hair, but I'll do the metaphor thing anyway. Rest in peace and happy birthday, Chris. And that's it for that. Till next time. Your boy, Jake Merrick.